Hey Laptop Recruiter members, how you doing? Thought I'd do another video here. It seemed to be a good light. Didn't look too old on the last video, so here we go. So I thought I'd do just a quick insight into what I've seen over the years in terms of what makes a business flourish and what doesn't. So if you've not watched it yet, please scroll down, go and watch the how to get 20 appointments from a sales webinar, from a CAS webinar, because some of that will put some context in, okay? Find that session that I did. It's about 20 minutes long, but it'll be of value to you, I promise you. So what I've seen over the years for businesses that either, we really have three types of business that come to us. One is the the startup, the person who's been tired of working for the man. They want to set up alone, and it's their time. But they either know recruitment but not the industry. They go into a new niche because of gardening or legalities, or they know the industry but not recruitment. Sometimes you get the startup who knows both, but you got the startup business. That's the first type. Then you got the existing business who's been through a patch of, could be anywhere from 6 months to 6 years of plateau. So they even known that they need to change, but now or they've now been forced. They've been forced. So you got the plateau company, and they're anywhere from 6 figures to sort of 750-ish. Then you got companies who are looking to just tip over the million, or companies who are doing bigger numbers but actually not making much profit. And they can then fit into a number of different baskets. One could be they got 30 desks and the old model's not working as well as it used to. It could be that it's just 5 people and they're doing good numbers, but they've always known they need to change. But you got that sort of type business, okay? So you got 3 real buckets. So what I've seen over the years for companies who have, well, for me, is really 2 things. One is they get that rapid progress, but then they sustain it. That's the key thing. What have I seen? So we help recruitment search business owners and staffing either launch, grow, or scale their business, okay? And the outcome should be you make more profit, not necessarily just more revenue. And what always happens is a member will come to this and it will be, my outcome is get here. So basically, I want to get here. Right now I'm here. The how in the middle is my job. They implement, obviously called implement to get a metric. So the first outcome will always be a financial figure, so it should be. But then the second is always a model. So if someone gets to 1 million and they've been at say 300K for a long time, invariably what they will say is, I want to go into a new niche, or I want to set up a new business. And 9 out of 10 times I'll say, no. Let's just drill down this niche and you're going to make 3 million. But it's a trait of, I think, recruitment people, which is almost ADHD, doing a billion things. And when things become almost too simple, one of the comments I had just a couple of weeks ago was, I've got to pinch myself that it's this simple. And of course, to get to that point, you put some work in. But invariably, the second thing is a change of model. A model should be, right, Andy, I don't want to be engaging with the client anymore, or I don't want to be engaging with the candidate anymore. I want to run it as an operator as such. I won't use the word CEO because it's a bastardized term. Everyone's a CEO of their own business nowadays. It's crazy. But they want to change the model. So first of all, it's about a financial outcome. The second is the model. And the model might be changing niche, or the model might be about changing their role in the business, which is key. So what have I seen as the sort of the successful traits over the years? Well, the first thing I've seen is, I get asked this question quite often about what is the trait. So the first thing I've seen is an observation it's about them as a human, because why is it two people could have the same strategies or the same tactics with the same templates and the same automation and get completely different results? It comes down to implementation. If you get a metric, let's say for example you get 10% conversion, if we then can tweak that for say 10% per week for 5 weeks, that's now 60% by taking an iterative approach. So you move from doing the same thing over and over again every day to you do things iteratively. So I always like to function in 90-day models. So for a recruitment business owner, usually they will come with well, where are you now? Where do you want to be? What have you tried? And when I look at their activities, they've done the same thing every day pretty much for the last year. Now, if your business is going to grow and truly scale, so that means, you know, I profess if you implement these strategies, you should minimum double your business, and you should cut your hours generally in about half if you do things correctly. So how do you do that? You don't do it by doing the same things for a year. You do it by the first 30 days by activating a new set of strategies, like riding a bike, but a new set of strategies, which do include automation. So that's days 0 to 30. Days 30 to 60, now looking to validate what we've implemented. So I call that calibration. We calibrate the strategy we put in place. It could be a simple email like ~R, or it could be a LinkedIn campaign, but we validate that it's getting this metric. Next, we calibrate it, i.e. we improve the conversion, which is where the magic happens. And then day 60 to 90, we accelerate it, which means we do more of it, more volume. We're happy with the conversion, but we do more volume and someone else does it. So we accelerate, we calibrate, and then, we activate, we calibrate, then we accelerate. So that mindset is pivotal. So seeing businesses that grow, and Andy, what's the trait you've seen? Is that understanding that you're a business owner. You're a business owner, you're not a recruiter. Now, I know you are a recruiter, but if you're looking to do 7 figures, and then, which is the financials first of all, but then every single person, 100% have then changed their model. I now want to do this. I want to run in 2 niches, or I don't want to be engaging with clients, as I said. So the model changes. So when we got that mindset, you must understand that you're now implementing business strategy. So I've said it over and again, you're not a recruiter, you're a business owner, and that polarizes me. In the UK, we got a spread called Marmite. I think it's called Vegemite in Australia. I'm not sure if it's in the US. If it is, let me know below. But basically, it's like this brown, tarry stuff, and either you love it or you hate it. So we've got a phrase in the UK, you're like Marmite. People either love you or they hate you. And I've always been completely cool with that, because it's always going to be just dead straight down the middle. But the reality is, that in itself has brought me a lot of love, but also a lot of flack. Not that I give 2 shits about flack, because if I do things ethically by people, then I'm happy. But you're not a recruiter, you're a business owner. So if you're being serious about getting to 7 figures, you've got to understand you can't be doing this all yourself. You also got to understand that just getting a VA to do social media posts for you doesn't mean shit. You need to be doing it strategically. So in terms of what I've seen as success factors or traits, it comes down to that internal person you're dealing with. And if you took like a use case of a ball in a china shop, bam, 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 and a use case of the procrastinator thinking about everything. I take the middle ideally, but if I couldn't choose the middle and I was being forced, right, gun to my head, gun to my daughter's head, would you take the bull in the china shop person you're working with, or would you take the procrastinator? I take the bull. And the reason why is they will go out there and they will run a strategy or run templates, and they'll get a metric. With that metric, it will come back. It might completely bomb. But if you get a metric, Andy, I've ran ~R, I've ran podcast picture. What are the metrics? Right, show me the artifacts. Right, change this, boom. Then you're going to start to increase. So I mentioned on the video, the webinar video about members who 5x and 10x, they get that mentality. So it's understanding you're a business owner, not a recruiter. Now, of course, you need to know recruitment, but understand if you're doing the same thing every day, you've got a job. It might be a high paid job, but that also means you've got a ceiling. So that's the main thing I've seen over the years. So in terms of what makes someone, quote, successful that I've seen, is that understanding they're a business owner, not a recruiter. They understand you work in 36-day, 90-day cycles. Now, of course, things are never that clean and pristine. Of course they're not. It's recruitment. Yeah, they are planned for the week. Coming tomorrow, your inbox is fucked, it's full, bam, 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 bam. And you're trying to get a new strategy activated. It's shit, you never worked with the VA before. I get it. But it's understanding that this is where we're going. That's the key thing. And dealing with 8-figure businesses or high 7-figure businesses who've got team members. We've had companies over the years. We've had some large companies come on board, and they've taken 3 memberships, for example, of our high-end program. and they'll be on 3 separate desks. And then we've had other companies come in, and there might be, I think one gentleman in particular, 24 desks. And he came in and he made sure that he ran the strategies himself. And the reason why, and you shouldn't really do that per se, but the reason why I said is this: we've had businesses who've had 35 team members making no profit, and they've come in and they've now gone to 7 team members and making $500,000 profit. So imagine being the recruiter or the salesperson or the head of marketing when all the work they've been doing before has been completely obliterated by these strategies. So you've got to be aware who's running the strategy. So in that instance, I said, be aware of mutiny going on, sabotage, because I've seen it happen with big businesses. So those are the traits that I've seen. Also some flags to be aware of, whether with me or with someone else or whatever you do. So be aware that the metrics give you an outcome, and 99% of the time, that's where you make your business decision. But also be aware of your KPI, your action that actually created that metric and who's doing it. But be a bull, don't be a procrastinator. And do you know what? One of the things I also say to people, if you don't get overwhelmed when you join us, as an example, if you don't get overwhelmed in that first 4 weeks and you want to curse my name, you're not pushing the needle hard enough. I'm a strong believer in a year you completely transform your business, and I mean minimum double it. If you're doing under 7 figures, that is. Above that, we've got org structures and other bits going into it, but double it. But also, you need to understand that the outcome you're looking to achieve is dependent on you as an individual, and that's the key thing. So with that said, I just thought I'd just share that quickly. Some of the traits I've seen, some of the things to look out for, and know this: there's more power in you than you've got. I think a lot of the time, like around my house, there are quotes everywhere. I have quotes everywhere, and that started with a guy called Tony Robbins. I left university. I went to Tesco's warehouse, like a Walmart warehouse, worked on these yaks for about 6 months, and I said, what the fuck am I doing? I'm leaving. Went to London, then got a job in Nomura, the biggest Japanese bank in the world. Don't know how, by the way. But then I got spotted that I was a grafter, I was a hard worker, then I got systems testing, anyway, blah, blah. But along that journey, I found Tony Robbins in that first year. And I understood then, I never knew this, I come from a small town where people aren't generally flying around the world, living in, was it 13, 14, 15 cities, I can't remember what the count was. I don't come from that background, but Tony Robbins made me understand that you control this, and if you keep putting good stuff in, good stuff comes out. Good stuff comes in here, comes out here, then you take an action. So if you're not getting the result you want, be aware of your surroundings, what's going in, who you're listening to, be aware of what you're saying, be aware of what you're doing. And that's it. I know it's very simplistic, but you could have the best strategies in the world. If that ain't right, that ain't right, that ain't right. So with that said, if you're new to the group, welcome. Let me know in the comments below. Laptop Recruiter family. See you on the next one.